Hello, it's Cliff again. What is patriarchy and how to challenge it? Patriarchy is a system that values masculinity over femininity. It is a system of male dominance that expects men to be strong, tough, and unemotional, and expects women to be weak and submissive. Patriarchy establishes rigid gender roles that harm most people of all genders by limiting people's options and choices in life. There is a difference between overt and implicit patriarchy. The Middle East has an, a system of overt patriarchy, while in Western society, patriarchy is mostly no longer overt, it is mostly implicit. Definition of patriarchy: a system or society a system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced through the male line. A system of society or government in which men hold power and women are largely excluded from it. A society or community organized on patriarchal lines. In traditional overt systems of patriarchy, all areas of life of women, especially their sexuality, were controlled by men and are required to be and men are required to be tough and violent. Poor men were often required to work themselves to death to both feed their families and to pay crippling taxes to the dominant alpha males in the aristocracy, monarchy, and religious institutions such as the church or mosque. Origin of patriarchy was the combined rule of religion and the now defunct, in Western society, male lineage aristocratical and monarchical structure of society. Patriarchy functioned to reinforce the pre-democratic rigid class structure system. After democratization of the West, overt patriarchy has been removed from the legal system, yet it is still pervasive in the socialization of many people. What continues to drive this social bias? Some examples of how it is harmful and how can it be challenged. There are two drivers of patriarchy in the West, America in particular. The first is religion. Most religions have patriarchy built into their dogmas and worldviews. The second driver of patriarchy is subconscious, implicit bias, a particularly strong and resilient force of habit. This is why even non-religious people are sometimes misogynistic. Patriarchy harms most people of all genders. First, it constricts people into limiting gender roles, limiting their choices in life. Here is a limited, not exhaustive list of some examples of how patriarchy harms people. Ways in which patriarchy harms women. Patriarchy harms women when they bear the brunt of the vast majority of rape, sexual assault, and domestic violence. It harms women when they are shamed for being sexually active. Also, women are harmed by patriarchy because they are often subject to sexual harassment. Patriarchy harms women when they have since they have a lower lifetime earnings than men do. Patriarchy also harms LGBTQ plus people by not accepting their identities and sexualities as being valid. Patriarchy harms men by shaming men from acknowledging their own emotions in a healthy manner, by shaming men from crying or showing softness and affection. Little boys are subject to widespread emotional abuse when they are disciplined or otherwise shamed for crying. Not allowing children to cry is a form of emotional abuse. It harms men by requiring men to sign up for the selective service while women are exempted from being drafted to war. It harms men by shaming men in response to pain and cries for help. Patriarchy harms men by encouraging many toxic attributes of masculinity while hindering positive ones, positive human attributes. It harms men by encouraging a self-sacrificial sense of duty that lead many men to stressful and dangerous jobs. Many of these elements of patriarchy lead men to die of stress-related disease, and in more serious cases lead men to successfully commit suicide more often than women do. Patriarchy harms men by tolerating prison rape, by shaming the victim as betas who are shamed for having an inability to defend themselves. Patriarchy harms men by the fact that Western society tolerates the genital mutilation of little boys. This practice is often called circumcision. How often can patriarchy be fought? First of all, most people are not overtly sexist in the West. It is mostly, for most people, a subconscious bias and casual, unchallenged attitudes to blame for most people living in the West. Most people living in the West have a subconscious bias, and it's not overt sexism, though there's a good degree of overt sexism. First thing is to stop. So how can patriarchy be fought? The first thing is to stop being religious. Make a decision to live your life based on rational scientific beliefs, and that means throwing out all the irrational religious beliefs to the curb. Give up on religion. Throw it out. It's a non-rational, and it hurts society. Just get over it. Learn science. Have some common sense. Now the next thing. Also, alright, well, scrolling in my notes, lost my place. Okay, also in addition to getting rid of religion, also in addition, the other things that need to be done in addition to abandoning religion is to be aware of and challenge your own biases. Actually challenge yourself to actively look for evidence if there are biases, and deal with them when you find them. Be open to constructive criticism when others notice something that may be evidence of bias. We all have subconscious biases. Just have some humility, be aware of them, and challenge yourself to deal with your biases and overcome them. And call out also sexism and any other type of bigotry when you see it. For example, if a woman is being condescendingly talked down to because of her gender, stand up for her. And also, for example, if a man is being shamed for crying or for expressing his love for fashion or whatever, stand up for him. Don't allow anybody to be shamed based off of rigid gender roles. Now, remember, we need to challenge sexism along with other forms of bigotry, and we need to abandon religion in order to improve society. Let's all do our part to make society more egalitarian. So, this is my take on what we need to do to make society a more egalitarian place. We need to really, like I said, abandon religion and fight sexism to overthrow and smash the patriarchy. And there's other forms of bigotry like racism and classism that need to be fought as well, but one subject at a time. So go out, smash patriarchy, challenge your own biases. Don't tolerate sexism against men. Don't tolerate sexism against women. don't tolerate sexism against trans people, and abandon religion. And please comment down below. And this is Cliff, and thanks for watching, and y'all have a good time. I'll post more videos in the near future. That's it.